Okay, Just Like Heaven by The Cure. Classic pop song. Great parts, great melodies. I've always enjoyed this song a lot. I think it's a great tune. And it was fun to put it together. Try to fit all the melodies and all the stuff that's going on the guitar. So it starts out with a nice rhythm, and I'll kind of show you with the backbeat. It's really optional, but I'll kind of include the backbeat. Interesting thing about the beginning is that it builds up part by part. So you start with the bass and then move on to guitar and keyboards, and then the guitar melody, sort of the defining melody of it. But it starts out just with bass notes. So here, if you can get that first, and I'm using my my index finger, kind of like a pick. I kind of pinch it. That's sort of a little theme of the song. Is like da 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 da, which later on comes in the drums and cymbals. But da da that little thing. But here at the beginning, if you can get that single note, and it's important just to hit the bottom note. So I'm muting the other strings, just kind of partly fretting them. I can get that note. So it'll take some practice to just hit that one note, but it sounds good if you kind of whack it from the elbow. And kind of just practice that muting. And then he adds a double stop to it. If you want to add the backbeat, goes like that, those 4 chords. And the acoustic guitar. And I'm strumming these, but I'm not strumming them too big just because the rest of the tune I'm doing fingerstyle, and I don't want to basically dwarf the fingerstyle parts by doing a massive strum. So I just kind of do it very lightly. Then kind of start finger picking it partway through. Kind of like that. Again, just sort of equalize the volume when I do the finger picking, like when I introduce the keyboard melody. And this is the only time that I do that little drum hit. It sort of introduces the melody. It's pretty hard to fit it in along with that melody. So you can do it or leave it out. And then comes the main guitar melody, which is really fun to play. So I'm harmonizing it here in 6th. And you really do want to slide. That really is essential to it, to really sliding it all the way down, not picking your fingers up. Then the melody coming up. The whole way, you really just want to be smooth about it and legato as much as you can. Keep your fingers down even while coming up. Then it goes down again. Then begins the vocal melody. And it's a little sort of an erratic vocal melody, but you want to try to follow it as much as you can because it's pretty specific. And you can choose, on the tab you'll see specific frets that I use. A lot of the times you can really choose where exactly you want to play that melody. That's what I'm using, but if you want to play this B, you can fret the B, or you can use the open string, for example. Anytime that B comes up, you really can do that. Whatever works for you, whatever is more comfortable. So. That is a little tricky. It's nice if you can get that slide in there. She said. And I'm not adding much in the way of chordal notes here because the melody is so specific. I'm really just playing the bass and that vocal melody just to get the melody to come out as much as possible. I'm not adding any other notes in there, as you'll see. Okay, so after her arms around my head, again twice. It doesn't go the whole way through the entire part, just the descending part does that twice. And then I move the melody up an octave, so I'm way up here, and still going with basically just single notes and bass notes. And sliding still. Now here I'm going way up. If you don't have a cutaway, this is going to be pretty difficult, I'm afraid. But you can try to reach over your guitar if you can. I'm way up here, way up on the all the way to the 17th fret. Yep. Instead of playing the B bass note, I'm substituting with a D, which is okay to do. Just so you can have the open D string while you're way up here. Otherwise, it'd be really hard to fret the B while you're going up. So that's why I'm doing the D there instead. So going from that high part. Like that. That second verse, and then there's sort of what I'm calling the chorus, the you-hoo-hoo, lost and lonely, that part. It's essentially a chorus. And what I did was I varied it by going jumping octave. So first I'm going up high here, and what I'm doing is I'm actually hitting with my thumb and my index here, those notes, and the melody up above. That's kind of tricky to do, so you could just hit the bass note, and no one would really notice. Jumping down an octave. Once again up high. Harmonizing again, then. Then we're into the solo. And here it's the piano solo on the recording. And once again I'm doing single notes like I was doing in the verse basically. Just echo the vocal line. And you could add a trill here if you wanted to. The piano kind of does a bit of a trill. Then here it echoes the descending guitar melody. Then it interrupts it a bit with this bit of a piano melody. Okay, then last verse, and I chose to drop this down an octave and play it without the backbeat. Spinning on that dizzy edge. Or no, daylight licked me into shape. And I played this really kind of with as much sort of feeling as I can. It's a bit out of time, and just really try to bring everything out of that line you can, that vocal line. So I'm sliding around, I'm being very legato. Just bear in mind, he's finding himself alone. It's a terrible thing. So you want to try to bring out that expression as much as you can. So yeah, so that last line. And then I brought the drums back in, the backbeat back in, and harmonized it. Okay, and then the final sort of chorus. Jumping down an octave. I think I ended on this D here. You could also end on this one. But on the recording I did this. It's a bit fuller sounding. All right, I hope this helps. Please let me know any questions you may have, as always. And thanks so much for your interest and support in what I do. Have fun with this tune.